Alright, today I'm going to be going over my step-by-step editing system that led to me making $250 every single day for only an hour and 23 minutes of work. So everything that I'm going to be going over in this video today is free. I've had a long-lasting video editing career. It's allowed me to do some really amazing things. And there are a few little tricks that I've accrued over my years. I've kept them silent, but I'm not going to be doing that anymore. First up is organizing like a pro. I've been really interested in coding, especially over the last year here. AI has made it 10 times easier. You can learn, you can do so much more, so much quicker. And one of the biggest issues I've always had as a video editor is organizing my files. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, are the type of people that just download a bunch of stuff into your downloads folder, and you tell yourself you're gonna organize it maybe a year later. But in reality, it turns into 5 years of a download folder full of random crap, but a few gems. We all know that we've downloaded YouTube to MP3, some sort of sound effect that is just so perfect, and then you lose it. So that's why I made PowerSort. This is free, by the way, so just give me a second here. I'm not trying to sell you anything. You can see right here through this GIF, it kind of gives you a breakdown of what the software does. I found that I needed to get sound effects and music organized a whole lot more efficiently. So my little trick of the trade here is using this sound effect / music threshold. So most of the time, music is going to be over 30 seconds, and sound effects are going to be below 30 seconds. So it more or less says anything under 30 seconds is a sound effect, throw it into the sound effect folder. Anything over 30 seconds is music, throw it into the music folder. It gets it right like 99% of the time. There are those odd songs that are like 29 seconds, and there are those odd sound effects that you download from YouTube that are like 3 minutes because it's multiple sound effects in a file. So this is my temp folder right here. I did an edit this morning. I organized all the files last night, so there's only a few files in here. And then this is the PowerSort software. So more or less, you select a folder. I'm selecting my temp folder right here, and you just hit scan files. So you can see, heavy shield takedown sound effect was categorized as music. There are a few other files in here, like the temporary Premiere Pro audio files. I hate these things. I have another tool on my Gumroad that is completely free that cleans up these files for good. So go check that out, link down below. And then these were all selected as sound effects. Like this, it delineated between music and sound effect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this threshold up to like a minute because I know that these are all sound effects in here. I'm going to scan again, and there we go. It got the heavy shield takedown sound effect into the sound effect folder, and you just hit organize. There you go. Files have been organized. And when you go in here, you can see they're all organized. If I go into the sound effect folder, let me look up heavy shield. There we go. It's in the sound effect folder. This software literally saves me so much time. It helps me do better edits with better assets. Everything's organized. It makes life so much easier. And your clients will be happier about this too. As I said, this is completely free. I'm giving this to you guys. It's super helpful. Just click the link down below, download it, use it. It's a godsend. So this was an edit that I completed just this morning. And you can see it's pretty intricate. This took me an hour and 23 minutes. Step 1 helped me a lot with this, all of the asset organization. But as you can see, I really focus on sound effects and music. Sound design is so important, especially when it comes to gaming content. You can't really add as much as you want visually, so add sounds. And a few things that make this easier for me are Epidemic Sound and Motion Array. Specifically the Epidemic Sound plugin. This thing is crazy. I have a link down below for you guys to sign up for Epidemic Sound. I'm sure a lot of you are already signed up. And I'm telling you, get the plugin for Premiere Pro. One thing that I do for organization purposes is I go into settings over here and I click sync to project location. If you haven't noticed, I care a lot about organization. I think it makes you a better editor. I mean, there's a lot of things that make you a better editor, but knowing what files you have to use and being able to easily find them, easily create invoices because you have folders of videos. You aren't searching for, wait, did I edit that video? Did I not edit that video? Organization is just really important. So yeah, click that sync to project location. And whenever you look up a song and download a song, it'll go right to where that project is stored. And hopefully you're storing all of your projects in one folder. Here's the project folder for this video. You can see I just labeled it the name of the video. I put all the files for the video in here. And then there's this Epidemic Sound folder. When you go in there, it delineates between music or sound effect, and you go in and it's all in here. Again, this just helps you. If you remember like, oh wait, I used this really cool sound effect in this video from 2 weeks ago. I want to use it right now in this video. Just go back to the folder and you have it. It's that simple. Something else you could do is you could not sync it to the project location and you could select that temp folder and then use PowerSort to organize everything. There's endless possibilities for organization here, guys. So I decided to record the process of me editing today, and we're just gonna go over this, give some commentary. As you can see, I go over here into Media Browser and I go into my sound effect folder and I'm pretty quickly find the explosion sound effect that I wanted. I adjust the gain, so on, whatever. And then I go back to the beginning of the scene and I need to find some music. So I just type in the feeling that I'm going for. So tense fighting, because that's what this scene is. It's like a gladiator arena. You're fighting tensely. And I just go through and I'm listening to these songs. I'm trying to figure out like which one hits. Okay, none of them really hit. So let me go into my personal files and look for something that fits. And I'm pretty quickly, you can see, I found this perfect song really fast because of organization. If you noticed as well, I'm using the media browser inside of Premiere Pro. I think as an editor, you need to be so highly focused to get a video done well and quickly that it's best to just not even have to click out of Premiere Pro. So use the media browser. You're not clicking out. If everything's organized, the media browser is actually pretty easy to use. Everybody says it's a pain. No, you just need to have better organization. So that's why I organize with PowerSort and I use the Epidemic Sound and Motion Array plugins. Again, links for all of this down below. Now we're on to my true secret weapon. This is the custom AI message that acts as my video editing second brain. This has been trained through years of me editing. More or less, it helps me not have to watch every single second of footage. You guys probably get sent hours and gigabytes of footage every single week. This will save you a lot of time. So here it is. This is the funny gaming editing AI prompt. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna give you an example of how this works. If you don't wanna watch the explanation, if you already know AI pretty well, link down below, everything's free. So my AI of choice is Abacus AI. As you can see right here, it gives you access to every single LLM. And this is important, especially when you're doing a lot of different things. Certain LLMs are better than others. Like in my experience, Claude Sonnet is really good for writing impactful, emotional text. So anything copywriting, I use Claude. For general run-of-the-mill stuff, I use GPT 4.1. Gemini's really good at coding. Just mess around with all of these different AIs on Abacus. There is a link down below for you guys to sign up. It's cheaper than signing up for OpenAI as well. There's a link down below for you guys to sign up. It's literally cheaper than signing up for ChatGPT and Claude on their own. It's a no-brainer to get this. So here's what I do. I copy the prompt, I throw it on in, and then I give a little space there and I copy the JSON. What is a JSON? A JSON is more or less a way to properly organize certain things. So as you can see here, it says cut rules. What are the cut rules? Oh, in the JSON, it's pretty easy to see. There are narrative connectors, punchline editing, visual hook usage, so on. And this is just the JSON template. As you can see in the prompt right here, it says output only a JSON object as specified below. I guess another way to think about it is it's a plain text spreadsheet. So instead of having to open a spreadsheet, you just type it out in text and it's really organized. So now that I've copied and pasted all of this in, you need to do one last step. Right here in the JSON template, it says transcript and then full transcript with timecodes. This is when you go back into Premiere Pro, you open up the text panel. If you can't see it, you hit window and then you go down to text and you enable it. And at this point, if you've had the project loaded up, it should have transcribed the entire video. So what you do is you go up here to these three dots when you're on the transcript and you hit export. And I'd say export to a text file. Some AIs have issues with CSVs, or if you hit export with transcript, it's a Premiere Pro file that they can't read. So hit text file, export it, and then upload it to this AI chat. As you can see, I just labeled it transcript.txt. We're gonna change that to transcript.txt, and we're gonna send it. So now it's generating the JSON file, the plain text spreadsheet. And you can see I set the target duration is 660 seconds. That's around 11 minutes. And then I gave it an allowed range. So if you're a little under, that's okay. If you're a little over, that's also okay. The minimum segment duration was 3 seconds. I don't want little 1-second clips where they say one word, like, hi. I don't want that in there. But I do want everything, based on the cut rules here, to be connected. So narrative connectors, we want punchlines, we want visual hooks, and then it gives me the segments to keep. So it says 0 to 19 is a really good narrative connector. That's the principle. That's why it kept this clip. It opens with playful setup and group dynamic, orienting viewers to the bending theme. And it just goes on and on and on, and it cuts up the entire video for you. And it gives you a really quick overview of what this video is about. One note, sometimes it'll tell you that it is not the full 660-second video that you wanted. It gives you a total duration of just a few minutes. So you just need to tell it, again, like, hey, please expand this to the full 660 seconds. And then it'll do it. It got it to 661. That's pretty good. Now, the real question is, what do you do now that you have this? Well, what I do is I hop back into Premiere Pro, and I more or less just start cutting out what it said is not really relevant. So whatever is in that list that it gave you is relevant, and it should stay. There's no way, at least right now, that AI is going to be able to completely take over your job. But you can utilize it to save yourself like 10 to 15 minutes. And if you're doing daily gaming editing that really takes you only 2 hours, getting it down to an hour and a half is pretty nice. So that's the ultimate overview of my step-by-step editing system that helps me make a shitload of money in a very short amount of time. If you guys are interested in me helping you make these AI prompts for your own niche, let me know in the comments down below. But still, download it, mess around with it. I think this funny gaming editing prompt can work for a lot of different niches. Like I said, all of this is free. This is stuff that I've learned over the last 5 years doing this full time. I'm just happy to be sharing stuff.